Hello and welcome to some Satisfactory. My name is Trismegistus, and this is my continuing series where I'm trying to finish the game and not making a lot of progress each time because I've sort of bitten off more than I can chew, I think. We are back at the copper and iron foundry, and the plan today is it's quite warm and thinking is probably a bit beyond me. But the plan is to basically continue work on this. It's progressing, but not perhaps as quickly as it sort of needs to and should. So what floor are we actually on here? I've not done anything. I mean, I haven't had time to even. I played like 5 hours of Factorio, I think, this week, and that's it, sort of thing. So I haven't done anything here, so I just need to refresh myself. I think I've finished the actual smelting floor. I think that's done. As in, like, properly done, absolutely everything. Done all the signs, done all the numbers. I think I've even put the... Oh, I haven't properly, have I? I mean, we could do that. I don't know whether I'm going to bother with this sort of thing. It feels like a step too far in a sense, but I could put these in. We could fill in the rest of this. I'm not quite sure why that's all solid, but there you go. Wait, is that a deliberate gap? That's probably a deliberate gap, is it? Oh no. Is there a deliberate gap? Is that a deliberate gap? That's a deliberate gap. Okay. So if I take that one out and make that one a deliberate gap. So we can just throw these in just because I'm here. I can do that. Wow, the game sounds really loud. I did turn some of them up because I sort of I was listening back to the audio and you basically couldn't hear the game at all. So I did turn some of them up, but clearly I got a bit carried away. Yes, I quite like the glass things. I know you can do lots of fancy stuff, but I don't know. I sort of just quite like the simple glass walls, really. Particularly with having all the shiny concretes and stuff in here. I think it works quite well. Let's just finish this in. Should be able to just do this bit. I've not got too much silicon. Yeah, it's all done by the looks of things. I must have got it all finished off. Even looks like I've coloured it all in. I suppose there's this. I could do something with, making this a bit swanktabulous. But that's all filled in there, I think. That wall. It's just the other wall that wasn't done. I say it's going to be a lot of fiddling around today because I'm not in the mood to particularly think about anything. There is, on the top floor, I don't think I've actually put the machines in, so we could do that. But then it's a case of sort of putting in, power conduits and lights and all the usual stuff that takes an enormous amount of time. But so I think this looks good in a sense. It's not spectacular. But I think it's the order and the symmetry and the pattern that give it a reasonable, nice look. Obviously this wall isn't done, but that's fine. We can do that later. So what about the next floor up? Where did I get to? I mean the big job is the belts. Basically, that's the real time consumer. So these look like they've been coloured in, but not the rest of them. Oh, right, so we could work on this, couldn't we? Let's go and get some more silicon, and we can fill the glass walls in. Oh, which floor? That floor. Down there. Whoops. So I had some good news last night, or hopefully good news, fingers crossed. It's the big thing I've been saying I've been massively busy with, IRL, in real life. Got some good news related to that. I don't think I can officially say and stuff because it's not technically done, but one thing I would just say almost apropos of nothing, if you're thinking about changing your job, I think now's like a good time because there are a lot of jobs available. And if you got that one sort of dream job that you sort of like, it might be worth putting keeping an active eye on what's available, because if it comes up, then it might be worth applying for, because I say there are a lot of jobs. More than as I understand it, there are people available to fill them, so it's moved a lot quicker than I thought it would, and that was the exact comment. So my boss resigned a few weeks ago, and that was the exact comment he made, that he was like, he thought he'd be looking for about 6 months trying to find the perfect job, and he got it within a couple of weeks, basically. So yeah, so if you're got a dream job in mind, you might want to keep an eye out. Word to the wise. I don't think you'll get a brilliant pay settlement. It seems to be most companies seem to have decided that they need people. They're not really willing to pay for them. That's why, so, in terms of the actual work, if there's something you got your eye on, maybe go for it. Put all of this in. I need to work out where to put the doors and stuff. It's a bit weird how you have to do them, or I have to do them because they're a bit off axis, if you see what I mean. They're not central. So it looks like I put a lot of the power conduits in. Not power conduits, they're connectors. It doesn't look like I've connected them up. We should have loads of cables. There should be loads of stuff here. I don't think I've stolen anything from this factory. Have we got any lights in at all? I don't think we have we? In fact, have I got my... I haven't. Put this in here. So it's going to be one of these episodes. There's a lot of these, aren't there? I mean, it's sort of... this is kind of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this game. Oh, I haven't even put the connectors in and stuff. Yeah, there's loads to do. I haven't put them in there either. Crikey. Okay. I can't remember what I did on the end here. I'll just leave it. I'm not too... for now, anyway. See, to me that's quite quiet, but according to that, it'd be relatively loud. I don't. Maybe there's some. Maybe they did it in some update. Tweak the sound settings. I'm hoping they've fixed whatever it was that was causing all those fogs to spawn, because that was really annoying. There were just like loads and loads of... Because I don't mind them respawning and stuff, that's fine. But it's the whole thing of... if you built something, they shouldn't respawn then, because it just gets tedious to get rid of them all the time. Especially now when, I've got so much ammo and, it's just a face full of bullets and they're gone sort of thing. It's not... There's no challenge to them. The spiders, mainly. The spiders are a bit challenging. For the others, it's just point the gun and shoot, because it's so generous with the hitboxes. Put that in there. Okay, so that should be all there. So it looks like I've done cables here. Just haven't done them on this side by the looks of things. Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can get some of them in then. That'll be thrilling. Thrilling viewing, as per. It's not perfect, but the whole double click it usually sort of works to connect the next cable. So it's not perfect, but no. Can I get... Oh, okay. Again. It's a little easier floating usually. No. Come on. Doo-doo. I mean, part of the problem with this factory, I was sort of thinking about it at one point, and the other factories, is I've sort of gone from like botch it together approach, where I've done tiny little builds, to suddenly deciding I'm basically going to do a mega factory. So really, I should have like built these up a bit as I was going. You know, done them in a more expandable way. Also, apparently, it's more problematic in terms of game performance if you have these big factories. And it's much better to do smaller factories, you know, and have lots of them rather than single big factories. I don't know if that applies, like, because most games, if you're not there, it's effectively simulating what's going on. Factorio is a little different like that, as I understand it. But you know, it's like the trucks thing, where the trucks aren't at the concrete factory that we did last week, aren't driving round as such. You know, they're not doing physics; they're just being simulated going round in a circle at the very basic level to get the timing right and the volumes right and that sort of thing. But in terms of, you know, they're not interacting with the terrain and doing all those sorts of physics calculations. They're just being drifted along the path, and say it's not animating anything. I don't think the vehicles even interact with each other. Oops. Just watched the conclusion of The Boys Series 3 before this. I confess it wasn't quite as good an ending as I was hoping for. I actually thought the second to last episode was better. Or was it third to last? Basically, this was the sort of, you know, the big action conclusion. It was good, but I was kind of expecting more of a twist, or, you know, something like that. But it was a little predictable, to be honest with you. Oops. Oops. Come on. It's been a manic week, actually. I sort of had an enormous amount to do this week. And also discovered that the guy who's meant to be helping me, and I really need help with it, because there's kind of too much to do. But essentially, he's on holiday next week. Well, he's on holiday now, but he's on holiday next week. He's then back for a week, and then he goes on holiday again. So he's got, effectively, across 3 weeks, he's off 2 of them. And in the middle week, because he's not going to be, you know, he's missing 2 weeks, he's got to do all his other jobs, basically. So he can't really help me. So this job I've got is going to last about 8 weeks, I think, something like that. But the bit I really need help with is the upfront bit. It's not actually going to be available, so he's not really going to be helping me. It's It's one of the sort of weird effects of being in small teams. I'm sort of used to it in a sense. Because it's something you get with when you have when you work in companies in small teams, you know. Because there's just, you know, not enough people. And so when someone goes on holiday, you know, it can be quite disruptive from that point of view. Particularly, you know, you then don't have someone to fill in for them because there's just no one else there, basically. The flip side is you get a lot more autonomy usually. You're sort of kind of left to get on with it, which is something I prefer. Not a big fan of being micromanaged, you know. But say then effectively means you gotta do the job on your own a lot of the time. I'll muddle through, and also it may stop being a problem. Let's put it that way. Cool. I've got plenty of cable, so we should be able to do all of this level. Whoops. I think Copy Stain's on holiday, aren't they? They're sort of... Because it's... I don't know if it's all of the Scandinavian countries, but I know that a lot of them... Basically, summer is just national holiday for the entire country. And like everyone goes on holiday. I mean, you sort of get that in the UK and a lot of companies because of kids' holidays and summer holidays and that. But it's like almost like all the companies shut down for a month across summer, and like everyone, it's a bit like Christmas or something where everyone's essentially forced to take holiday. I think part of it is because obviously being quite far north, they get very long, very dark, very cold winters. So then summer, they sort of want to get out and do things and stuff because they can't for the rest of the year. Plus, they tend to have amazing social care systems. I mean, they pay the taxes for it, not getting it for free, but yeah, they tend to have amazing. Well, basically, socialist, social democratic governments usually. So they get, all sorts of things enshrined into law that protect a lot of those sorts of rights and stuff. So, kind of dates the stream, but this week we also got the big news, which was quite distracting, that Boris Johnson is finally going. Absolutely nuts him trying to stay on. It was almost... it's almost a farce, if it was written, you'd sort of think this is a bit, getting a bit silly, or, you couldn't write it as a drama, you'd have to write it as a comedy, because it's so unbelievable, basically. So he was basically trying to stay on, even though every single one of his ministers, pretty much, I mean, not technically absolutely every single one, but all of the major roles. I mean, some of them sort of can't resign. There are some things that... Because there's like... you can't have your defence secretary resign. Not without, basically, resigning because he's been sacked, sort of thing, but you can't have a situation where defence or Home Secretary, are unfilled positions for a significant period of time, especially at the moment when we're sort of fighting a proxy war. want coated. I missed a bit. You know, against Russia. So yeah, they sort of couldn't resign. Oh, I'm out of what? Poles, okay. Huh. So we need a lot more poles. What can we do next? So I guess we could start hooking these up properly. Since I put them in. Yeah. Whoops, wrong button. So, where do I want now? Yeah. I did come up with a pattern for doing them, but I've forgotten what it was. Was it there? Oh, I don't know. It's just... So I'm not actually that... I know some people hate the cables. I'm not actually that fussed about them. Actually, I should have... Trouble is... I should really put the lights in first. But that's quite difficult. Right, so they need to be on that one, is it? Yeah. So it's aligned with this square. Oh. Not sure I've got enough stuff for these either. Right, my first in-person kick-off meeting for a project this week. Same project I'm talking about earlier. Felt a bit weird, to be honest with you, because it was like the building was basically empty. And it didn't actually look like it had been occupied, you know, at all. It's not like it was, you know, because they, you know, they were on working from home. You know, the desks didn't have any, like, paraphernalia on them. So they were just completely empty. You know, like a spare desk rather than a, you know, a desk that is somebody's, but they, you know, they're working from home for 3 days a week, sort of thing. You know, these were just completely empty desks. You know, so there was no photos on them or anything, you know, any little trinkets or toys, any of that stuff. They were just nobody works here type desks. It was a really big building, you know, for that to be the case. It wasn't even like, you know, one floor was occupied and another wasn't. It was just, you walked around this place and it was like a ghost town. And it's like you can see why landlords and stuff are, because you know, the guys escorting us said that they downsized their presence in the building. They occupied less of the building. You know, and that's why, because why have all that space if you're never gonna have people working there? I don't think I can put any of these in, can I? So I need to put these in. But no, I can't put them in. Let's go get some more stuff then. Yeah, I wonder how when I turn them blue. Right, so we want rods, or whatever it calls them. Let's just get some of them as well. Don't need them. There we go. Oh, I've not got too many of them. What about some plates? Okay, let's get some plates. And I mean, Caterium, I guess, is a big one. And oh, was that not wires? Where's wires? No, there's wires. Well, I've got loads of them, haven't I? And then few cables. I think that's all we need. So, oh, autosave. That's a long autosave. longer than usual by the seeming of things. So, organisation. So that's a few of them. And I wanted to put some of them on. Maybe I should top the concrete off a little. Oh, it doesn't make a lot of difference. And then them is our plate. Oh, walkways. I can do walkways now? Yeah, okay. I thought about, because I've been saying we'll do bauxite for a while, but I was actually thinking about doing trains. But then we're having a bit of a heat wave in the UK, so I'd enjoyed. I think it's just design. I was just thinking of designing, a train system. Like the foundations more than anything else. Am I really putting it there? It seems a bit far over that. Huh. So it's in the big square. What is it? The layer below. Yeah, it's in that big square, isn't it? Okay, so it's even between floors. Although I don't think that's very central. Yeah, it's in that square. Okay. No. Talking about or blathering on about. Not really got a lot to say about the game as such at this, because I say it's mostly cosmetic in a way that I'm doing. Oh, there was a post on Sweet Transit that was quite interesting because it seemed like blueprints are already done. They were already. I mean, I believe they were talked about as coming in. It looks like it's going to launch with a blueprint system. Or certainly copy and paste anyway. And that'll be quite useful for it. I think it's probably realised. Whoops. The tone of it I got was that he needs to be a bit clearer about, like, what's coming when. And getting a few more of the... I mean, I get his point about needing to be... Make sure the basic mechanics are sound. That the actual train laying system works. But if the game's not that sort of interesting to play, if there's no point to it, it's the fact that it is mechanically sound is irrelevant, isn't it? It's got to be fun before it's, one more, maybe. Yeah, you need a game to be fun before it's Oh, was that it? It's a Caterium. It's so expensive. For Caterium, these. Right, so can't even do a row with that. Right, fine. Okay, let's hook these up. The power is fluctuating all over the place. I might be able to show you. Because you can't actually see the power grid with these connector things. But yeah, it's fluctuating all over the place. And I think it's a lot more to do with the petrol side, the petrol part of the power system, rather than the nukes. Although the nukes do... I've turned them down. I don't quite understand. So let's have a look, see. So you see it's all over the place, and it does that. That's a nuke not kicking in. And there should be a cadence to it of like a sine wave, basically, because of the what do we call it? The geyser one. So it should be going up and down a bit, but this is very up and down. Because that's the production, that's not the, the thing. So it could be that I don't know why they would though, because we're not anywhere near capacity. But yeah, I don't quite understand why it's so jiggly, other than that it might be something to do with the fuel. I mean, obviously I haven't investigated, I just literally clicked on it. But I've basically set the... Wait. Oh, I've connected them to that one, have I? I've set the... I set all the nukes to be less, because while it was broken... Because I messed up one of the steel ones, it wasn't connected. And so it basically burnt through. There was like a build-up of rods and stuff while it wasn't switched on. And so that was sort of a buffering effect that it was having. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm bothered about aligning them up all the time. But they burnt through all of them while it was in that not actually working properly situation. And so now they're literally burning them as one arrives, but it doesn't seem to tally with what the wiki says, because I'm producing them at the exact right rate to maintain four nukes, but they're occasionally running out of power, and it could be a belt length effect where it's just taking a while for the fuel to get there. But that would seem a bit weird, because I've turned them down. I've turned them all down to 90%. So it should be backing up, but it isn't. Instead, one of them occasionally is not getting the fuel it needs. I'm doing these really messy, actually. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. So I'm not that fussed about the cables. Don't think they look as bad as everyone says, sort of thing. But these are a bit untidy. I keep hooking them. I think it's because I keep hooking them to that one. And that one I want actually be a better one to hook it to. I think someone was knocking at my door. Hang on. Not knocking at my door, knocking at next door's door. And I'm pretty sure it was someone who lives there. They have a bit of a thing for door banging next door. It's like, I don't know. Because there's that, teenagers slamming doors is not exactly an uncommon thing, but it's like they're doing an insane amount. It's like they don't know how to close doors, it's only slam them, But this was someone banging on the door. I say I don't. The only one person there appears to be one of the kids. So why is he banging on the door? Anyway. Let's just hook these ones up. Oh god, I hope they do a conveyor-based system. Okay, and that one's already done. Okay. How are we doing? So we need a lot more Caterium then, don't we? Okay, let's go and get some more Caterium. Caterium. Yeah, as much as we can. In fact, let's also grab wires and top off the steel. Don't top off the steel then, I don't care. Right. See if we can't at least finish one row of lights. Oh, wrong. Floor. Yeah. Oh, it started raining. Not in the game. It does. There's a rain effect now. It's quite cool. I quite like it. It's sort of. I mean, it's not long. Doesn't have any real gameplay impacts. It doesn't, make surfaces slippery or. I mean, there's no lightning, and you can't get hit by lightning or anything like that. But yeah, it sort of makes surfaces shiny and stuff like that. Can I see the rain falling? No. No. Makes it feel more. I mean, it's a bit weird that it's doing it in the desert, but it just makes the world feel a bit more real. Also, I'm not quite sure why it's not very cloudy if it's raining. But there you go. Right, and let's throw one again. Three. Two. I'll be fascinated at the end of this. In the decade or so that it takes me to finish it. If I come back and sort of deconstruct all the factory, just how much stuff is actually here. Because I've made I mean, it's a really big factory, like impractically so, I think, for the game. But I say, I'd be fascinated to know, if I took it all down, how many chests of stuff it would take to fill. Because it feels like I've been backwards and forwards, taking, raw materials backwards and forwards, like dozens of times. And every time I'm moving a full inventory for me, and often full inventory for the truck. So it's a lot of stuff that I've moved. And even just in the concrete, the concrete factories I've set up in the desert, I've used, well, there's like 3 of them, and they're each filling a large container and a small container. I think, maybe 2. And I've emptied them at least 5 times. Plus I've ferried some concrete, over. A lot of it's gone in the road, to be fair. But yeah, it's sort of... I'd be fascinated to know how many chests of stuff there actually are here. There's someone I follow on Twitter, and they basically started doing live streams about a week ago, and they're already an affiliate. So, as I've said before, I don't really care about that stuff. In terms of me, I almost don't want people to subscribe and stuff. But say it was just kind of humorous that within a week they've already hit affiliate. It's because they're relatively well. I mean, not massively well known, but particularly in they play a lot of these live service games, or a live service game, basically. And they're pretty well known in that community. And so, let's call them a minor celebrity. And it was just the sort of difference between a schlub like me and somebody who streams a popular person with it for a relatively popular game, and bang, it happens straight away. Oh no, to be honest, I think they're pretty much. I mean, no, I don't think they will hit partner, but because partner's actually bonkers. I think the idea with affiliate is it's just a check to see that you're not, a robot or a fake account or something. That's so it's not let's say it's sort of a little barrier to guard against, in a sense, as I say, bots and stuff, but also like everybody being a monetized streamer. It's just checking to see, well, do you actually stream? Yes, okay, well, you could be an affiliate then. It's that sort of a check, I think, really. Whereas with partner, because the percentages are better and you can be on the front page and all these things. Oh, we're out again. Oh, we're out at a wire now. Okay. So they make it a lot more strenuous. And in a way, I mean, I've talked about this before, that the monetization for YouTube is horrendous, like as in the requirement that you have to do. Now, it was after the, I can't remember what they called it, adpocalypse, where, it turned out ads for, Coca-Cola were going on terrorist propaganda videos and stuff. And they massively increased the requirements to become monetized. So you need like 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I think, something like that. Which is just, way, way, way above what it used to be. And actually, I'm not sure partner's not like worse. Because it's 75 concurrent viewers, which is a lot when you think about it. Well, even when people have done raids on me, I don't think it's gone over 50. And that's average. That's not just once. That's like a month average. So yeah, I'm not sure that's not more difficult really than the YouTube ones. Right, so that's about as far as we can do with what I've got, but I think I should be able to put more of the old walkway in, the wall of walk, the walkety weighing, the weighing of walking. Zoopity poop. apparently this is going to be it for the week as well. The hot weather. It's going to be particularly high, I believe, on Sunday and Monday. But yeah, it's going to stay high all week. I'm hoping it's just a little spell though. I'm not the greatest with hot weather. My aircon is really awesome, but it's not something I can sleep with. Although this new one has a sleep mode. We have non-coated concrete. I've not tried it out yet. I mean, we only had that very short hot spell, so sort of didn't really need to. It was only a couple of days, basically. But in fact, I was a bit worried. I jumped the gun and sort of got one. It wasn't going to be a hot summer, but I say with it ramping up this week, feels a little bit more like it was a sensible decision. Is that all on? No, we got one up here. It's not quite done. Not quite done. Actually started playing a tiny bit of Captains of Industry. It looks like they added a lot more to it than the sort of like the back beta version. There's tech tree's huge. It looks like it might be finished actually, the tech tree, because I know the goal of the game is like to go to space basically. Launch rockets stuff, and it looks like those technologies. I haven't really looked at it properly, but it looks like those those particular technologies are in the game. So now, what did I do below here? What did I do in terms of positioning of walkways? Looks like it's aligned on the inside. So it's aligned on that one. So it's that one I need to chop out. Oops. If I can avoid banging my head into the ceiling. Right. So we go. Oh. Capital T. That. And then this needs to be wait, is that the right one? Yeah. Why have I not done? Oh, I guess those are smelters anyway, so they're different. Because they're different size buildings, aren't they? Different size machines. Yeah. So I've lined it up with that because it doesn't quite let me do two. So I'm probably better off doing two, I think, on this one. Because it'll look a little neater. So as in, I'll take both of these out. Because the machines are much more evenly positioned. Yeah, so it's these two each time. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Let us do that. That, and then... Right, why are you nosing? Come on. There we go. Why are you nosing? Come on. Come on. Yeah, so I say I need to decide what I want to do with punching a hole in it. I mean, I could do... Because one option is that. I could also put one there. That looks a bit weird and rubbish. Not a fan. To have both of them. That one wouldn't work. Oh, and there's just concrete variations. We could also have gate holes. Don't really align either. I think maybe just that one. Like that. Yeah, that'll be fine, I think. So just the one aligned with the first one. Okay. I do enjoy this stuff. It just, you know, there's just so much of it. It becomes a little bit repetitive. It's the type of thing I'd get burnt out on, basically. That's kind of what I'm most worried about with it. Particularly in this game where there's no particular sort of tension or pressure to it. You know, it's not like... I know a lot of people don't play with biters, but that's kind of what they give you. They give you a bit of an impetus to get on with it, because if you spend too long, you know, polluting the world, basically the biters will come and destroy your base, so there's a bit of a pressure there. Oh, autosave again. But it's not in this game. You just, you know, crack on, basically. I suppose there's the power thing with the the nuclear waste. That's not really an issue. It lets you, you know, reprocess it eventually anyway. I mean, that's the other thing I could do on stream is do that, do the next couple of milestones, because we need to get nitrogen, basically. I can do, obviously, the pipes and the supercomputers. It's the, whatever it calls them, heavy, modular, low light density, proto-modular, whatever the heck they're called. The latest version of frames. Come on. Just that bit. What doesn't soup if I start there? For some reason they require nitrogen. It's actually a bit of a complicated production chain. I had a look at it on the wiki. I'm not 100% sure how I would get it done quickly. I think I probably just have to take the material to it and, you know, set something up at a nitrogen geyser. You know, temporarily. Just to make 50 of them. Because 50 is not that too much. And actually it'd be the other... I think it's the other milestone that I need to do. And I think that's 100 actually. I don't think the leading edge production gives me the nuke stuff. the nuclear processing. But once you've got that, you can just sink the plutonium rods into an awesome sink. Whoops. See, no, junction. No. No. One of the things I would say about the leaving lunch is that I had the most amazing lasagna I think I've probably ever had. One of my favourite bits of lasagna, of like, yeah, properly baked lasagna, not just microwaved, is like the burnt bits. So basically the edges of the dish, you know, pan or whatever, where they've just caught a little bit and it's sort of caramelized the pasta, and like sort of slight, not burnt as such, but slightly overdone the, you know, the sauce and stuff. And this, it was basically pure that. I mean, not in the sense that it had been burnt or anything like that, but clearly it had been cooked like incredibly slowly. And so all of it had sort of gone, you know, gone like that, basically. So very similar to the, I say the burnt, I say just call them burnt bits for ease of reference, but they're not really burnt. So it's absolutely delicious. It was. I mean, to be honest, it was. I'm not the biggest fan of like gourmet pub food. It's always a bit sort of over the top, really. I tend to go a bit too far with it. But this was just perfect. It was just like by gourmet pub, I mean they're like normal sort of pub grub. So I say lasagnas and fish and chips and stuff like that, but done more like a restaurant would do them. I would say they tend to go, in my experience, a bit too far with the restaurant-y stuff. But this was perfect. But my only criticism of it is it was amazing. There weren't enough chips. Could have done with a few more chips. And that was it was lasagna and chips. It wasn't, you know, lasagna and some, you know, weird other things. Lasagna and chips, you know, like you'd actually do as a sort of normal working class person in the UK. Yeah, it was phenomenal. It wasn't that expensive either, it was only sort of £8. The guy sat, you know, next to, he had, you could tell I got absolutely nothing to talk about. I'm going on about the food that I'm leaving to. Pub I'm not actually going to name. Not quite sure what I'm talking about today. I say my big news, I can't really say what it is. Well, not yet anyway. I thought I'd been putting these in each time, but clearly not. As I'm probably going to put something a bit fancier than just solid concrete. You know, as a wall, maybe put a window in it or something, but let's just leave it. I think there's only one more, because we'll leave the end. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the ends. I don't know how much space I need for belts and etc. Yeah, so we'll leave that one. I do need to put the door in. Which is that one. Cool, so that's them. What else can I do with what I've got? I could put some of these floor holes in. Oops. Thinking about tomorrow's Crash Story 2 stream as well, what I want to do with it. Well, I mean, we'll certainly do it tomorrow. Wait. I'm not going to have to move all of these. Have I already done that here? So that floor hole is there, isn't it? So it's this side of the grating. Oh no! And then on this side, it's this side of the grating. These are in the wrong place. Did I? Maybe I only... I think I've done that on every floor. Bugger. And is it all of them, or is it just that one row? No, that's completely wrong, isn't it? Oh, there's nothing... I guess I could put the floor holes in. Yeah. Have I fixed these ones then? No, I haven't fixed these ones either. Because that's the same issue. In fact, oh, I've literally... I must have discovered that before then, because I've literally just fixed these ones. Have I done that in these machines as well? Oh, there's plenty more to do besides, but let's have a look. Oh, no, that's okay. So it looks like I've finished... I've redone one row, and that's it, effectively. Okay. Well, so we can certainly put these on here. I think I've done that upstairs as well. And these ones actually matter. I mean, it doesn't matter in the sense that I could have them, you know, instead of there, you know, put them there. But if I was, well, I'll show you. So if I try and connect this up, like so. See, it doesn't reach. So I would have to put it in one. I think this would have to go out one as well. Not sure if that would connect. Oh. Ah, power slugs. I thought about doing more of that as well. Does look like that connects though, so that'd be okay. But say they're then uneven. Oh, how annoying. So going back to the voice again, so not spoiling anything. I think part of the problem with it, and I suspect it's probably a pandemic thing, maybe. Although I don't remember them being sort of longer before, but there was almost too much in this series, in this season, and it could have done with a few more episodes basically to properly flesh some things out, because some of the stuff at the end felt unearned. Essentially, there wasn't really a lot of motivation. Particularly, it could have done with like more in the way of flashbacks, basically. To like, because there's an old adage in writing of show don't tell. So you don't tell the audience things. So exposition dumps are another way of thinking about that. Where, you know, the peripheral character, you get it like in games actually. But where an NPC will tell you a bunch of stuff. You know, they tell you why the villain is a bad guy, basically, rather than actually showing you the villain being a bad guy. The problem there, of course, is that in a game, you know, the common mechanism for doing that is that you would use a cutscene. And cutscenes aren't actually that like great in games, in the sense that it's a completely non-interactive part of the game, generally speaking. So it's effectively telling you anyway. You know, the whole point of a game is its interactivity. So a cutscene is effectively you know, becomes telling, even though it's how a movie would show you. But yeah, so it did a bit of telling, basically, to justify a couple of things, whereas it could have done with a couple of episodes to, you know, show it in flashback type of thing. But I suspect it's probably a bit of a pandemic thing, in that maybe they... Or maybe it isn't, maybe they intended it that way all along. But so it could have done with, for me, it could have done with a bit more fleshing out in certain places. And I say the particular, like the whole final episode felt like it could have been 3 episodes, and it felt sort of rushed from that point of view. Keep double clicking by accident. So you can at least get this row done before I have to come and rip it all up again. How annoying. So even if we don't get, I've said this many a time, even if we don't get blueprinting or copy and paste, machine zooping is really needed. Just the ability to, like I've done there, I've got it one tile wrong. If I could just rip it up and zoop them back in again, that would be so much easier. But I can multi-select to delete, but I can't multi-select to build. Oh, I didn't finish the character of interest, you thought, did I? So basically, so I seem to have added a lot more in it. I still find it a little clunky. That was always my sort of complaint with it, where, and maybe this is a, you know, they'll have, because it has tutorials, but they're literally like a slab of text tutorials. They don't really tell you anything. It doesn't use showing you, basically, so it doesn't show you the thing in game. It just sort of, here's a tutorial on how to do this thing. They're not that well explained. One thing I did discover in it, though, is you can connect buildings together directly. So they have like outputs. So it'd be like if you take one of these and literally you can stick the next machine, or a storage in particular, you can stick it on the end and it feeds it in automatically. You don't need to put connectors and belts and stuff on. Obviously it's not like you know, if you've got a thing where it's like a ratio of, say, 3 machines to 1, you kind of wouldn't want to do that. But before you've got belts, because there's like there are trucks basically. They're like drones basically in Factoria, but they'll move the stuff for you. You know, so say you're making concrete, you know, they'll move the cement from one machine to another. That's a bad example actually, because they don't connect. But if you're making, you know, parts from iron or something, then you can literally connect. Whoops. You know, the iron plate maker to the machine making the machine parts. You know, sort of 1 to 1. So the ratios don't well, but early game, you know, you've not got loads and loads of stuff. So got a little swatch. So it sort of doesn't really, you know, matter in the sense of wait, isn't this meant to be blue? Oh, it is blue. I'm getting confused. Getting confused with it being dark. Yes, and it sort of saves you both. You don't need as many trucks effectively, because, you know, where they would be taking every single little bit of, as I say, like concrete or whatever. From one place to another, you can just hook the machines up directly and it'll feed it in, but it doesn't need the trucks. So I thought that was quite a nice little quality of life thing. So effectively it's still direct insertion, basically, without, you know, without inserters. So yeah, I quite like that. Nice little touch. Because it's partly a colony management sim, I had such a hankering to play Anno again. And it's only the whole waiting for the DLC that's stopping me. But yeah, it's a colony management sim, so you got to make food and stuff. But it seemed pretty forgiving actually. I know it's. I've watched a few things where it's actually quite easy to get into death spirals, apparently. But I say I've not actually found it, because I'm massively cautious with colony builders anyway. I'm always massively overproducing food and oh bum, it's the wrong way around. And I just turn those blue. So I'm always. If we've not got 16,000 tons of, you know, potato stockpiled, then I'm panicking and making more potatoes, you know. But yeah. Cool. So that's sort of them done. I need to copy and paste this, I guess. Copy and paste the recipe in, if you can do it. I turned all those slugs into power things. So I've got about 30 of them now. I mean, that's the other problem for me with the slugs thing. It's hugely time consuming. Because I only got 30 slugs and I was doing it for 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours. And it's like, not 30 slugs, 30 power shards. Is it 30? Hang on a sec. Yeah, 33, and I had like 1 basically before. But yeah, it's sort of massively time consuming getting all those slugs. So that's what it needs to look like. But I say I've messed these up. We're going to fix that now. What's the time? 4:15. Well, I haven't finished putting the lights in, have I? So let's put some more lights in. Because I thought if I built machines, I'd go and build them upstairs and fill in numbers. Because I got the calculator up, so I can sort of work it out. Let's go and have a look. So, because I bet these are wrong as well. Then are they? Yeah, those are wrong. Those need moving over. Oh my word! Right. Because it's these, I've not even built them. So that's screws. And then this is cables. So how many cable machines do I actually need? Let's just have a quick look. Kabul. Where are you? Where are you? Why can't I see cables? Excuse me. Oh, there we go. 65 in theory. 65. 65. Really? I mean these aren't done properly anyway, because you know they need the gap. So maybe I was going to go 70 and put 35 on each side. They're in the wrong position, as I say, so they need to be not there, but there. So that I can do that. So this is kaboom. Okay, let's put them in. One of the things I like conceptually in Captains of Industry is the land deformation, and because you can basically like build, you need to dump material, you know, so you scrape away soil effectively from on top of your resources, and then you've got to put somewhere to put that soil, but you can also dump like waste and stuff like that, and effectively build ramps, and you know, it lets you dig down in the same way. I find it a very fiddly system, and also the way the UI to it is kind of horrendous. I just spammed a load in there, I don't actually know. Just kept going. Why do we seem to be so slow? Because it does this thing where it shows you what it seems to be ramps, but you know, like it going up, you know, like one of these basically. So it's sort of showing you these in ghost form, like, you know, like that, and it would, you know, you'd sort of build the ramp like a zoo, you know, upwards, you know, play ball. There you go. But it doesn't seem to match what it actually does. So you put the ramp on, and you sort of leave it there for a second, and you think, well, that's what it seems to have done, but it looks from the UI like it's wrong, like it's not going up, it's like digging down into the earth sort of thing, and then the trucks will turn up and start filling it in, you know, anyway, and it's like, but that doesn't look right. So it's not the greatest UI on that part of it, but the sort of concept of that is quite interesting. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They've also introduced new maps. 3, 4, 5. You know, there was only one map, I think, unless I've just missed it. But yeah, there's like 6 maps now. Seems to be how they're controlling or one of the ways they're controlling difficulty. 2, 3, 4, 5. How many is that? So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So if we were to do 1, 2, 3... Because that's 6. Well, two lots of that will be 60, and I need 65. So... Oops. So I could just do that many and... You know, we'll just slightly overproduce it, I think. Yeah, go on then. So I haven't even counted these, I've just thrown them in. So we could fix that as well. So we want FICSIT Foundation. And we want it all the way to somewhere there. Got the wrong thing up, hang on. Let's just check it again. So it was what? It was 200 cable machines and 65... sorry, 200 wire machines and 65 cables. Okay. 200 wire and 65 cables. Because at the moment I'm doing 70. I guess I could underclock some of them. Because that gets me a bit extra built. You know, for personal consumption. It's not purely for building the machines that I need. Yes, let's see how many of these we can get in. Was this in the right? I don't think this was in the wrong place, wasn't it? I don't want to put all of them in. So not there. There. Wait. Because you can do... No? Shift replace? Oh, control replace? No. It doesn't work, does it? I don't understand that particular shortcut. Right. So this should be there. And this should be there. Okay. So we need to go in one. But we need to wait for autosave first. I thought so. I was trying to be fancy and just not put them... Oh, actually it's there that I've made the error, is it? And just not put the machine... Because what I've been doing, you know, usually I put the machines in and delete them. Oh, on the floor. I was trying to be all fancy and just not build the machine. And then I've misaligned them. Gone misaligned them. I didn't finish my Crash Story of Two Thought either. I mean, there's certainly enough for tomorrow. But I think we're reaching the point where I sort of don't want to stream it anymore, as in it's just a case of letting it chunk through. I mean, I could keep expanding everything. But it's not... It's like the scale up is enormous. So it's going to start feeling like an ever increasing well that I just can't fill. you know, with sort of small extra builds. So effectively, it's demanding a mega base. That's basically what I'm getting to. But I don't know. I'm really in a mood to do a Crashtoria 2 mega base. I'd rather move move on and try Bobs and well, I'd probably go with Angels, I think, just on its own. I think I'd rather, start with that. And also not put so many sort of mods that, just go straight with Angels. No, minimise the quality of life stuff, just max rate calculator maybe. And that sort of level of modding, so definitely not use the companion drones again. So, put the coated concrete in. There's not a few plastics. Put them in. Actually, did I? Yeah, I've got some of these left. Let's put these in as well. Don't know why this is missing, but it is. Come here. Concrete. That's me out of plastic. Yeah, so I think I might do. Well, I could try and do both days as Crashtoria 2 this weekend, and see if I can get to a point of like finishing it in quotes, or to the point where I think it's just a case of leaving the base to run. But I'm not going to get a lot of time sort of play. No. What are we out of? Oh. Steel, not. I thought we were out of silicone. What else can I do? I guess I could put this roof in. I haven't really decided what I'm doing with the roof. The roof is unclear. We can move these over as well. I wonder if, did I get them right here? Are these correct? No, they're not, are they? Ah, no. 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 What are you? You're sheets, aren't you? Yeah. Wow, okay. So if I was to put this, right, if this was a glass roof, light on my concrete factory, and it went sort of from like here. Oh, you're going to do that stuff again, aren't you? Get rid of you. And it went like up there. Because this is the 1 meter slope. So the gentlest slope we can do. Whoops. Come on. You're seriously not going to let me... Right, okay. Let's go round. So yes, this is... Oh! Oh, we're out of stuff. If I take out these other bits then... Does that give me enough to build? Oh, there's the existing bit as well I can get rid of. Get rid of these. Oh! I run it out of juice. Get rid of these. Like so. So I could also get rid of this, couldn't I? So it's a shame you can't like interact the poles with the not poles, the beams with the roof. I'm actually wondering, rather than doing a you know type roof, just do a it's a straight bit and then it's entirely diagonal across. That might be interesting. Because how does this interact? Okay. So we probably need to either put it up or... So currently it's there. So... If it was the... Oops! There instead, what would it look like on this side? Seriously, that's too much stuff, isn't it? Let's pop one out then. So it was here on this side. Like that. How far off is it if I do that? It's a bit of a gap, which we can kind of fix with a little bit of that. Beams might look quite good there, actually. So could I get a beam to behave itself? So if I put one, no. Put one, no. Along like the top. I mean, it's not quite reaching, is it? Again, there is a sort of a gap. Is that going to matter? Because the other option is, say, that wall. What are you doing? Like that. I think that looks pretty good, actually. I wonder if I can attach a beam to that. Oh! Hello, Tion. Hi, Trey. Thank you very much. Good reminder. Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you doing? Welcome back. How's your week been? So... I hate the snapping in this sometimes. Yeah, I think that actually looks alright, just like that. I could probably do my thing again on this one, like at the concrete factory, where it's got like skylights, you know, type sky vent type things. I don't want to call them that. They're basically just windows. But yeah. do that. I guess the other question is what it looks like here. Oops. What do I think you need hydrated? Yeah, same. I assume it's even hotter where you are. So I'm sort of approximately in the Midlands. So I think it's a little bit cooler as you go north, sort of thing. But thanks, Happy. It's Friday. Yeah. Is your big job sort of nearly finished? I think you said you were still doing it for a few weeks. I can't even build that, can I? Oh no, I can build a couple. So how does it go? Oh, that's all right then. So this can go. So it's a shame it's 2 on this side. But that's not far off. I quite like that, just having an entirely diagonal roof. And what did it look like here? Yeah, that looks okay. So I can put, you know, some glass ones in for effect, and if I do some, what you can actually do with these is put them like that. So it looks like then an actual skylight, and I say if you put we change it into glass, so it looks like a window, like in a proper actual factory, you know, in the roof that would be pushed open. So I guess I could move these, but I've done it with all of them. They're all one tile over. Ah, dear. Did I just... I must have deleted that machine by accident. Huh. Okay. Not for, oh, you're not where I thought you are for some reason. If I've misremembered. Almost reaching testing phase before production. Oh, right, so not too long to go then. I actually had some, I was saying earlier in the stream, I've had some good news. I can't say what it is. You can probably guess, given what I've been blathering on about, like for the last few months. But so I can't say anything. But well, I'm not sworn to secrecy, but it would be inappropriate given the situation. But yeah, I had some good news last night. And then today was basically a write-off as a result, because I was just too distracted thinking about it. I say it's not a done deal in a sense, but it's like, you know, effectively there. But I need to have a talk with someone who I couldn't have a talk with. Right. So it needs to be there, doesn't it? Is that correct? Yes. And then this one is 1 in as well. So I can't believe I've done every machine just ever so slightly wrong. This is Nilhouse territory of 1 tile over. Yeah, it's meant to get even hotter, isn't it? It's meant to be sort of peaking on Sunday, I think, or Monday, something like that. Oh! I failed it out the sky. Right, let's pick all of these up then. Get them redone. And obviously you will be almost so you will obviously also be aware of the general good news for the UK. Not that it didn't take an enormous amount of sort of effort to get him out. I mean, what was he? Well, I say what people say about him is true. It sort of makes sense, but however did Boris think he was going to run the country with basically no MPs? What's more scary about it, to be honest with you, for me, it's like the reaction in, particularly it was the Mail and the Express, where they were like, it's like, how, because they were like, oh, this is a mistake, and the Tory party's made the biggest mistake and all this sort of thing. It's like, how can they possibly say that? I mean, is there anyone in the country that actually thinks he should still be there? It's just amazing that sort of people seem to, because they're not going to publish that stuff unless they think the readers sort of agree with it. I just don't understand how anyone could. I mean, even if you're with him politically, essentially pretty much your entire cabinet and all your MPs resigning just puts you in an untenable position. And it's like, well, if even the Tories are saying, Tory MPs, the lowest of the low, if they're saying go, all of them, maybe it's time to go. Unbelievable. How many of these do I actually need? Let's have a look at my little lab calculator. We need a sheep. We need 110 machines. So presumably I had 40 on the go there. Because we got three lots. So let's make sure we got 40 again. We got 5 there. 1, 2. So 6, 7, 8, 10. 1, 2, 5, 6. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Go. Okay, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm not sure you're there, but I was sort of... I should really be working on the steel foundry, because need to get it finished, really. But the revelation that there was no way I was going to be able to supply it with just like one train, just not even from a volume of material transported point of view, more from a... But hang on. A train only has 2 outputs, and I need 12 outputs, or I need 8. With sort of 2 divided. That sort of revelation is kind of. I think that's going to have ramifications for all that I'm doing. I think it's because I think the real source of it is. I just assumed, I mean, I kind of knew there was a level 5 belt coming, but I didn't really look at it or anything. At one point I didn't realise there was one, but when you look at that, grid shape, it's clear there's an extra one. But I just assumed it would double, like quite a lot of them double, or nearly double, and it isn't. It's quite a bit off of double. In fact, I thought it'd be double, plus, as it were. It'd be double and a little bit more. But it's actually a little bit under double. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. So I've got 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's it, isn't it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, so that's it. All of these on the end. Ah, dear. Problem is we do not have a strong enough opposition, and who is who is best to replace Bojo? Yeah, I say that's sort of it is like a rogues gallery of incompetence and people you wouldn't trust to, you know, run a tombola stand, let alone a country. I mean, I honestly think, I think maybe they'll recover and stuff, you know, because I guess people are, you know, seem to be weirdly weighted towards the Tories in this country. But I'd suspect a Lib Lab coalition is probably the next government, because it's like, kind of done too much damage. I'm a little surprised, actually. I mean, I do get it, but a little surprised Labour were pushing quite so hard for him to go. I guess they think it's going to just weaken the Tories, but to some extent, him staying in would almost, you know, guarantees them like more seats, I would have thought, because the more he's there, the more damage he does. But I suppose at some point you've got to just say he's doing so much harm that, you know, he's just got to go, because almost for the good of the country, you know. Because I mean, he did a literal security threat this week, talking to a plumbing oligarch with no one else there. It's basically like, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, security 101 stuff, you know, but it just doesn't seem to think like a sensible human being. Oh, right, one more then. Oops. Oh, have I misaligned one? Oh no. Any clues where? When those all appear to be straight, you mean that there's a gap, wrong gap? Because that's okay. Wait, you mean as in... I think they're okay there. What about here? I so wish we had building zooping. I say, at the very, if we're not going to get a blueprint system, at least some way of, you know, laying down 10 manufactories next to each other. Is that gap okay? Well, it seem okay? I say, if you can see where. Unless I've missed, you mean I've miscounted. So we've got 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, that's 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Looks like I got the right number. Seem okay? I don't know saying. It's like, I mean, it's not. You don't lose material when you rebuild. It's just a time cost sunk, basically thing. You know, it's like, oh well, I've just wasted an hour if they're just slightly misaligned. It's like, well, annoying, and say makes this an even longer build. They keep making little errors, but so it doesn't. Yeah, cost me anything in the sense of, you know, I'd have to go and get more materials, more materials or anything like that. Well, that's quite quick. Oops. You out. So I do really, and you know, say I could just overclock everything and, you know, reduce the machines. I'd then have to go and find a load of slugs, which is just a bit boring. But yeah, I do think they look quite awesome, all sort of lined up. Feels like how a factory like this would actually be, to me. Oh no, I've left a extra gap there. I guess because these are all smaller numbers. Yeah, okay. How many of those can I put in? Not very many. Okay. Did I set the recipe on these just so that... Ah, save. So you're still on Final Fantasy? It's quite a big game, I think, isn't it? It's like 40 or 50 hours, I think. Right, what else can we do with what we've got? Not a lot. So I can put a handful of them in, but sort of a bit pointless. Did I put these in? Yes, I put them in and they're okay. I guess I could put this wall in. I play a lot of games, I sort of realised, that are basically jobs. Because there's a lot of like repetition and, you know, I mean, building a factory is, you know, a construction job basically, and it's like, I do a lot of games like that. I guess I've already done the numbers on that. I did. I moved these over, right? Yeah. I'm going by the inner, this grill thing, grill effect. Looks like I ran out there. They're not in the right place anyway, then. Ah, dear. You see what I mean? I got to pull all of these up now. Yeah, looks like it didn't. I ran out twice. Yeah, still power thing. Final Fantasy, good, good. Yeah, I haven't fixed any of these, have I? Right, so. Oh, it won't even let. Oh, I've got run out of stuff. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. What should we grab? So if we grab, don't need any of those. Maybe if I just pop that off. Frames, I can't remember if they're used in the recipe. I don't think so. How much concrete? Maybe a bit more concrete then. And definitely need wires. Definitely need cables. Not so much of those. Let's take a few of those because we are putting the machines in. Like loads of them. And loads of these. No. In fact, let's put them back. Give me a bit more room. Basically run out of rods. Okay. Could take that and do the windows first. And similarly, in fact, let's put those back as well. Do the floors. Do I need rubber for anything? I don't think I do. And then rest as criterion, I guess. Okay. Ah, right, yes, so let's do the windows. Oops. Right, and then this sort of runs out, doesn't it, over here somewhere? There we go. There we go. Fill that in. And then how far up do we need to go? It's quite high. So another 3, is it? Yeah. Don't know, I'm going to power these. Maybe I'll come up with something different for this level with power. I mean, I could just do the beams again, but it feels like experimenting with something different might be interesting. So I was itching to get back to Anno 1800 this week. It's quite a comfort game for me as well when I'm sort of under stress. That and Factorio are sort of two go-to games. It's just a very sort of comforting feeling playing them. But that's a great game for beauty building. It's I mean, it's got a lot of cosmetic DLC, so I suppose technically it's no bad, naughty microtransactions. If they count as microtransactions, I never know where the dividing line is, but yeah, it's a lot of cosmetic packs. You can make some really awesome looking cities. It's very gridish, very blocky. There are mods you can do diagonal roads, but otherwise it's all square grid roads, but you can still get some really nice effects. Cool. Okay. What have I got left? 34 silicone. Can I can't go over that. I haven't got enough juice to go over. They've always been very pretty, the Anno games. It's kind of one of their... I mean, even going back to the like very first, first versions, which we like decades ago, they're actually pretty. I mean, they kind of look like mobile games now. It's that sort of level of graphics. But if you think about that from sort of 40 years ago, back then it looked a lot better than it does now. It's kind of amazing, actually, how your sort of perception how things look changes. But, being a old fart gamer and having been doing so for ages, the games I remember in my head, how they looked, they looked sort of awesome. And then they're not quite so awesome when you go back and look at them. I mean, they have their charms, they're not, I'm not saying they're bad looking, but games that you were like, oh my god, this is the most amazing graphics ever. And you look at them and it's like, if a game came out, particularly like a AAA game came out looking like now, you'd be like, what the heck is this rubbish? It's a bit of a problem actually, because it means that, there's that expectation that they'll look awesome, and that's kind of one of the big sources of crunch, really, is the whole expectation that the games will look super amazing. I need to think of something to do with that, don't I? Because it's uneven. We've got like different number of rows. I can't just have a wall going all the way up. Okay, what else did I bring that I could chunk through? I guess I could just start deconstructing these. Oh, hang on, it's 5 o'clock. I've gone over time. How the heck did that happen? Is that right? Why does it feel like I've got my timing wrong? How long have I been streaming for? I've really lost track of time. Yeah, 2. 2 hours, 10 minutes. Wow, okay. I thought I was hungry. What else could we quickly do? Well, I guess I could sort of put some of these tiley things in. Oh, that's the wrong thing. No. Why is that purple? Why is it doing it in purple? Don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, so that's it for today, I guess. That's flown by. How I managed to fill 2 hours. Not really. I'm sort of, my head's in a different place. I'm not sure, but there you go. Well, I probably won't be able to say what it is all weekend actually, because I'm not kind of not going to get confirmation till probably, well, maybe not even next week. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't really know whether I'll have time to do that. I've got so much to do this weekend. We'll probably be picking up exactly the same place, doing exactly the same thing. So there are some jobs I should really start, like the modular frame, whatever it calls them, super heavy modular, amazing frames or whatever they're called, so that we can do the nuclear stuff, do uranium reprocessing. I should really work on a train system, a proper train platform thing. We should go and sort out all the problems in the steel factory. We need to add more trucks to the concrete factory. So there's some jobs. Also bauxite, aluminium. I keep saying we'll do that and never actually doing it. It's sort of tantalizingly close, but a long way away, essentially, because the other factories I'm intending to do are not going to be quite so monolithic as this. They're going to be more multiple materials in the same factory. And the build numbers are much smaller. So it's really only these ones I've been working on where it's a bit insane, the number of machines I need. We could also sort I mean, I think the exception, well, I've said that. The exception is plastic and like rubber, that's going to be enormous. I think I'm going to have to revise that and overclock more of it. Or possibly seek out alternate recipes. We could do a stream. Maybe that's what we do on Monday. Go slug and particularly hard drive hunting. See how many I can get. Because we haven't tapped this. There's quite a lot of slugs over here, but I'm pretty sure they're all in caves underneath the desert. I don't think they're particularly easily accessible. Not necessarily more about game plan. Anyway, so I kind of disappeared this session. Oops, did one. Oh no, I do need to do it actually. That I've not left. I thought I'd left an extra gap, but that should be filled in as a. There we go. That's better because this is where the number goes. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So these should be these. There we go. That's oops. That's more like it. Anyway, yeah. So that's it for today. Be back tomorrow. To play a bit of Crash Storio 2. I may well... Oh, helps if I hit the right button. I may... Oh, I didn't update my schedule. There is a stream on Sunday because it's not back to a normal. I didn't set it back to the normal one, normal schedule. But yeah, so basically Factorio and on Saturday and Sunday will be at 3 o'clock. So it's not 4 o'clock like it says there. It'll be normal time, 3 hours. Well, assuming on Sunday I don't melt, it'll be 3 hours, but I'll have my aircon on, so it should keep me nice and cool. And then again, Satisfactory on Monday. Again, I doubt I'm going to get a lot of time to play anything this weekend, so we may well pick up exactly where we are. But say maybe I should go hard drive hunting and sort all of that out. That'd probably be sensible given the problem I'm setting myself for. For making plastic Saturday's and stream. Well, Saturday's stream will definitely be Crash Story 2. Depending on how it goes, I may well also stream it on Sunday and kind of call it a day until I then roll around. I'll play it off. Well, I'll leave it running off stream to finish, and we'll just do the end bit. I'll just quickly do that. And then we'll probably keep the testing going for the next couple of weeks, the testing of the blueprints. And then it's my intention to play either, not both, but either Angels or Bobs as a playthrough of a modded playthrough of Factorio. Yeah, so it'd probably be a stream where I finish Crash Story 2 and then start Angels type of thing. So yeah, that's the plan. If you are watching this either as it's VOD or you're new on the stream today, then I have a YouTube channel which has all of my VODs on. So there's all sorts of series on there, all sorts of Factorio ones. This one, couple of Satisfactory program series. So you can catch up with all of those on the YouTube channel, which is Trismegistus or alias Triggles. The Twitter's the same. If you wanted to follow me there, I basically post to say when I'm going live. If you are watching, live today, follows appreciated, etc. But if you're watching on the VODs, then you also feel free to come and join me and say hello. That's the Twitch channel there. Discord. So Discord is intended to be multiplayer. I would quite like for one of these streams to be a multiplayer session where people join me on a multiplayer map. So if you were interested in doing that, then join the Discord and we will set that up in the future. Because I'm doing job hunting and stuff, so a lot of my spare time is used up at the moment. So I say that's for the future, but that's the intention. So there we go. That's it for me for today. I say I'll be back tomorrow. If you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Satisfactory. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Whoops.